trip that myself and Sean took up to Bloemfontein, at the time I was doing a project on Afrikaner identity, and it was just like another trip to photograph some more towards that project. And then that wasn't the start of 20 Journey, but on that trip the idea was, we came up with the idea, and then we started sending emails like about photographers that have done road trips around countries, or like starting to send each other references. And when we met Sipho, the three of us went on a road trip.
I'm Cape Colored.
You know why the
Cape Colored. I'm born in Cape Town.
But that's an apartheid construct.
I don't care.
The apartheid government said you can't.
Apartheid is here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you continue with apartheid.
We traveled 24,000 kilometers. We went through all 9 provinces, and I think we did like 153 different places.
Oi.
Right.
Oi.
Right. Yeah, so 20 Journey was basically just because we're all from different cultural backgrounds, and we grew up in different times and different places. So I grew up in Bloemfontein. I'm 25 years old. Sean's 30, he's from Knysna, and Sipho's 21 and he's from Langa. And so it's basically like a look at South Africa 20 years after democracy or into democracy. It's the current pulse of South Africa from 3 different perspectives. And the themes that we each chose, I chose to focus on land issues, Sean on the idiosyncrasies, and Sipho on the born frees. And that's something that came very like as a personal thing. It's like what interests me.
And yes, a pocket. Kom!
Jou poes.
Always runs back to Roy when they need help. Fuck, when I was staying in this bush park, she used to come from Adlani work to come and eat in my fucked up place.
I didn't eat your fucking food, so fuck you, you can't.
You useless fucking.
Okay, Guru.
We weren't chomies before this, we weren't friends. It was basically we forced this together and it worked, and I think that's something that could be an example of, instead of people building these walls and creating some sort of separation in order to not kind of communicate, so this communication happened, and through this I've learned about Sipho and Xhosa culture, and I've learned about Wikus and Afrikaner culture, and it bounces like this and like this. Battle of Blood River, the Battle of Blood River.
So now my question to you now is that, has it moved from a race thing, like in apartheid?
And also, for me, the most surprising thing is that how we as a collective, that some things that I would never understand about African identity, and then Wikus would explain it to me, or he would take me to different spots, and then Sean, and then same with me, and I would take them to my Xhosa land, and I would explain them how things work before them, like doing something they don't even understand, like how the community would interact with them. So like it was sort of like that was very interesting, that I was exposed to things that I wouldn't think that I would be exposed to if I was going there by myself.
Yeah, and the surprising thing is that it's not, I think people have a warped perception of South Africa. Like, we were actually able to see what's actually going down, in little villages and big cities and strange, weird little towns. And South Africa is not as dangerous as people think it is.
It's a nice family photo.
Yeah. Yes, thank you very much.
Wow.
But like even like for me, like it felt like each and every place, because it was my first time traveling, like each and every place was a learning process. Going to Messina and then going to Johannesburg and then like finding out about Orania and everything, just like, well, everything was new to me, and it's like, really? Like all this time I've been living in South Africa, and it's only now that I'm finding out about these things about my country, you know. Which one is true, you know, like what am I saying, is it true, or am I based on what I've been like hearing or what I've known about South Africa, you know. So that process was very interesting, and then like having to document it, and then it's like each and every time I didn't even know if I was doing the right thing, you know. It's like, is it good enough? It's like, what am I doing? You know, I don't even know.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
I didn't know what we were really doing actually.
Yeah. And I think I can add to what Sipho said is it wasn't only a journey like to explore South Africa, but it was like a self-exploration thing. It's the views you like I had personally changed, and you see how other people deal with things in their daily life, and like things that you think is the worst ever, like those problems just kind of like disappear. Or
But on Sipho's point about him being fed information versus him now going and seeking for himself, I think that's kind of what the project has turned into. We would like people to engage with this content that we have created, photos, videos, writings, and so on, just to get a bit of a different perspective, I suppose. Because again, we didn't really know what we were doing. We just knew we wanted to go and do this.
You must go to the church.
Why must you go to church?
He's a devil! He's the devil! He's the devil! He's the devil! He's a devil! He's the devil! He's the devil! He's the devil!
If it wasn't for Sipho and Wikus, I wouldn't have got my photos. And if it wasn't for myself and Sips, Wikus wouldn't have got his images. So it's very much that kind of, what's the word? Ubuntu. I am because of you.
yes.
Yeah. And I think that's only now, when we took a portrait the other day of the three of us, and we looked at this photo and we're like, it's a very funny photo, but it actually, 20 years ago, this couldn't have happened, you know, us three doing this. So with the way we shot the project was very like much this way in a time that's super kind of narcissistic. And then suddenly we took this photo of us three for the first time, and we're like, it's kind of interesting looking at these three different like textures and colors, and you know.
Yeah.